Okay. All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. Joining me now, the CEO of TEDA, and we're very fortunate to have Cohen Guidry here with us today. And Cohen, a lot of people probably seen you, and they've seen you on Bayou Time, and they're going, man, that God looks familiar. So it's not like you've been a stranger to home, and you've been here your whole life. You've gone to different areas, and especially in the military, but you're back in town.
Yes, sir.
For a big job.
Well, thank you, Martin. I've lived here, like you say, the majority of my life, and I've always had a home here. I've always worked away in different places in Louisiana, internationally, and things like that. So, it's nice to have such a short commute to work every day, and get to meet so many new people and people I haven't seen in many years. I know I sound like a broken record with that, but it certainly is rewarding for me to be able to give something back to this community in such a way that to work with an organization like TEDA and work with the residents of Terrebonne Parish and to bring new businesses in. It helps with growth and the things that we're trying to achieve to get Houma to become not just in the shadow of New Orleans, but to be a destination, someplace that people want to come, not just pass through.
So obviously you have ideas. You come in, I know Gordy well, and that falls, and you've met with Gordy several times. He doesn't want yes people that can't think on their feet. So obviously you did pretty good in your interviews, but what did you present in those meetings that really caught his attention? What's your goal? What do you want to do with Terrebonne Parish?
Well, Martin, you have to come in and be able to set goals and objectives. You should have a 90-day outlook plans, 6 months and 1 year. And some of the goals, as I said earlier, this Terrebonne Parish should be a destination, a place that people will come to. Rebuilding our downtown, that's going to be a big part of it. Breathing life back into some of the activities, some of the festivals, and bringing some new retail back into Houma and helping the local businesses as well. Because it's certainly important to always shop local. But if nobody fills that local niche that's a chain can do, then maybe we need them here. Places to eat, local restaurants, right. Chain restaurants, things such as that.
And you're sort of juggling right on the aftermath of COVID and Ida. So you're trying to infuse some people to come in, but you're also looking at where they're going to live. So y'all have done tremendous in that arena trying to get that going again.
Well, thank you for that. I can't take any credit personally. It was certainly my predecessor, the group at TEDA, and how it started was our president of our board, Dr. Mike Garcia, served as the president of our board and the Chamber of Commerce. And that shortly after Ida came through, the dust settled, he said, if we're going to get businesses back up and running, we have to have a place for people to live, because if they've evacuated and their homes are destroyed or where they were living are unlivable, then we have to be able to do something. So they set out and reached out to some different groups, organizations, and started collecting donations from them. They raised $1.4 million inside of 2 weeks. And they went out and they bought campers. They bought 45, 46 campers that they were able to bring. So they utilized religious organizations, community organizations, and things like that to say who needs these things and where do we need to drop them off, hook them up so people can get moved into them. And they felt that if they had people who had housing, they could go back to work and then they could rebuild a little at a time.
It seems to me that would be a challenge for you, but you have a military background, so you probably look at things a little differently than the normal person. Is that a fair statement?
It is. I appreciate that. I don't see obstacles. I don't see obstacles. I look at, when a wall comes up in front of you, you got to figure out. You don't just stop. You have to figure a way around it, over it, or under it. And you don't run
through it,
but you don't run from challenges. You run towards them. And everything's a challenge. Nothing's too difficult in life when you put it in perspective.
Yeah. So, and that's been what I've been hearing as I talk to people. They go, Martin, I'm worried about the future of Terrebonne Parish. And I always go, Hang in there. This has been a big hurdle, but when it comes back and people see growth, it's the best time to grow is right now, isn't it?
Absolutely. We have almost hit a reset. And I've heard the same things, Morton, in different aspects. People feel that, our cornerstone of Terrebonne Parish is oil field only. And we're much more than that. And the things that we look at in our industry. And we have a large fabrication ability in Terrebonne Parish. And I tell people, I say, if we're going to have fabricators that build jackets that go sit on the seafloor in the Gulf of Mexico, do you think the fabricator cares if he's welding on a pipe that's going to support an oil production platform or possibly an alternative wind, solar, anything like that? I think there's still a lot of life here. There's still a lot of opportunity for Terrebonne Parish. And I think we're just seeing we hit a reset, and we're going to start trudging forward, and we're going to make this thing bigger and better.
And as we were talking, your phone was buzzing, and I think it was either the parish president or the president. So we'll check that out in the break. But look, I know you're a busy man, but we're going to bring your executive secretary on in the second segment, Tammy Haydel, and we're going to share some things with you and her, and we're going to give her the floor because I know you put a lot of stock in what they say and what they do up there. So we're going to introduce her when we come back. We have Cohen Guidry, the CEO of TEDA, and joining us now, the executive secretary of TEDA, and that's Tammy Haydel. Tammy, welcome aboard. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right, before I let Tammy talk, I'm going to go to Cohen because you realize how valuable she is. So talk a little bit about Tammy and how much she brings to the table for TEDA.
Well, Martin, I was very fortunate to inherit such a great staff. And it's funny that I've known Tammy for a number of years, and she was one of the ones I hadn't seen in 30 some odd years. So it was nice to be kind of reunited with them. We've known each other since grade school. What? But she's very valuable. She runs an efficient office. She keeps everything straight. She keeps me in line and in check. Coming from private sector, there's a lot of things that you can't do in public sector. So she keeps me in check and keeps the office running efficiently. And she does so much more. She arranges all of our meetings, all the board meetings, the lunches there, the agendas. She's a workhorse.
Yeah.
And the people behind the scenes sometimes don't get enough credit. That's
Right.
why you and I decided to bring her on here today. She needs some limelight and credit.
No doubt. And Tammy, with that, wow, that's a great introduction. But like your daily activities, and I know for me to ask you to describe what you do every day, it's not the same every day. So you got to be pretty flexible in that position, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Cohen, by the way.
Yeah.
No, really, I love my job. I love keeping everybody in line, including this one. But I enjoy working with the board of directors. We have a great board. And I mostly do administration. So I'm in charge of accounting, board meetings, things of that nature. And also, we do have a lot of people who call in, need help with startup businesses, expansion, things of that nature. And it's nice to be able to give them the guidance that they need too.
It
It's
takes
fulfilling.
it takes a special act. Look, I know I'm probably a lot like Cohen. There's people that come in, we promote, we're driven, we go get it, we make things happen, we talk to things, but then we go, help me get it in line. And we have a great crew here, and it's always key to have a great crew doing it, but you almost have to be born to do that. You always had that knack, didn't you?
Well, I think I am nurturing for sure. I'm the mama hen for sure. But I really enjoy what I do too.
Yeah,
So,
and it
you know,
keeps you
it's a-
pretty busy, like you said.
Absolutely. Yes.
So what do you sense now that Cohen's come in? Of course, you had a great relationship with your other CEO, but it's a changing of the guard. And with that comes new ideas, and new ideas are always welcome. It sort of regenerates, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Cohen brings a lot to the table. I've been impressed. He's ready to just run with it, and everyone seems to be on board. You know, he's bringing a lot of ideas
Yep, to the table, I guess.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, okay, let me ask you. He talked about raising all this money, and he talked about Dr. Garcia. I know there's a board. Y'all pretty busy. I guess it's the second week of each month is
Yes, sir.
is the board meeting. And then you made a point to me the other day, Cohen, that you want to be at the council meetings because they may need you. They may call you up and say, "Hey, what's going on?" So you've sort of made yourself available to do a lot of things, which maybe were not in the job description, but you've sort of advanced that a little bit.
Well, you have to make yourself available, and being new to a position and, new to this community from the standpoint of where I sit now, it's important to have, your face in the public light to be able to show people, look, I'm here, I'm committed, our group is here, how can we help? And I've had a great response and a great gathering. And I will tell you this, and I seem to forget to say this every time. Coming from private sector to public sector, one of the things that impresses me more than anything is every meeting starts with a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. And I put a lot in my faith, and as a veteran, those two things mean a lot to me.
Yeah, which is also a great segue to this question because a lot of people always say, well, Mark, when are you going to get into the public sector? I said, I've been in the public sector for
Most of your
40
life,
years.
yeah.
But I'm privately owned, so I can do things when I want. If I want an idea moved, I can move it. In the public sector, takes a little bit more time. Does that sort of drive you crazy?
Gordy actually asked me, early on, because he's got an oil and gas and construction background as well from the private sector. And so, going through the interview process and knowing the resume and my background, he just kind of grinned and says, so have you adjusted to the pace yet? I said, yeah, I've had to put it in low gear and slow down a bit compared to, because my day starts, I get up at 5 a.m. and I try to be walking out the door by 6 to get to the office so I can start my day and everything. And you got reminders, and they're going into 2-week, 3-week, 4-week reminders. Okay, well, let's check on this, let's check on that, where usually I would just make a phone call or get with somebody, and 24 hours it was underway and it was going. So it's something to get used to.
It's just a process.
It
It's just
it
a
is.
process.
It doesn't mean it's less efficient, doesn't mean it's better or worse. It's just different.
And I guess as we go to a break, the word patience would come in because I know if you're like me, sometimes I want things moving quick. Let's go get the story. Let's do that. Sometimes you got to go patience. So
I would take a deep breath and just realize that you're not the things you're not in control of.
Tammy, I want to come back to you because trailers. We all hear so much about trailers now because of Ida and other things. But bring me up to speed. Y'all been doing quite a bit with that.
We have been, our main goal was to first distribute the trailers to those who needed them. And we just wanted to take care of the paperwork after the fact. Just take care of the people and then the paperwork. So that's the process we're in now, is to notarize all the transfers and get everything donated to the correct recipients. The majority has been fulfilled, but we do still have about 10 to 15 trailer recipients that we need to do the paperwork on. So if you did receive a trailer or camper, please contact our office at 873-6890. And that way we can schedule an appointment and take care of your paperwork, and you will be good to go.
Well, we all saw in the past when we did a couple of stories on y'all delivering trailers, how they light up. When those trailers get to those locations, it's like you have brought the pot of gold.
Absolutely. And they're so appreciative, even now when they come into the office to complete the paperwork. Lots of tears, hugs, well wishes, very much appreciative.
And with all the red tape, y'all been able to jump through a lot of that
Absolutely.
because that's the key. And I think that's what Drive, Cohen does, and I know Tammy has Drive too. It does that. Cohen, I think maybe it's a good time too to let the public know that y'all going to be doing a monthly show, and it's part of what you want to do to bring transparency to the position and sort of keep people in tune to what's taking place on a monthly basis, so people will be able to see what their Economic Development Association is doing right here in the parish.
We are, Martin, and I think it's a push, and we really appreciate working with you guys because it's a push. The age of TEDA and the number of people, including myself, that don't know exactly what TEDA does, we are looking very forward to getting that word out there and getting more people involved and educated of exactly how we do things, what we do, and some of the programs that we do have to offer. It's not just free money. It's just, but there's some great programs, and we're a tool that we would like to be used and used in the right way to help the local businesses bring businesses in. We were talking, excuse me to change subjects, but we were talking about the camper initiative and the donations there. We have also had some really great donations through organizations outside of Terrebonne Parish, helping with building supplies, cleaning supplies, furniture. So we're working with a mission out of Independence, and we've helped them establish the 5 Bayou communities in the regions with people, reputable people in those regions as collection points. And there's chain of custodies of who gets what materials and where they go and who they go to. But we've got a representative on each Bayou region from Dularge to Pointe-aux-Chenes. And it's something that we're involved with, but we're just directing traffic. We've put the right people in touch with one another, and they're getting shipments daily of flooring and building materials. And as they come, they go out to the different communities. So we wanted to kind of give them a little recognition and to show that our appreciation in this community. But there's a lot of great things still happening, and there's a lot of places that still haven't rebuilt. So there's still got a lot of work to do. And just because we drive through town and there's no blue tarps left, that doesn't mean that as a community we've rebuilt.
Yeah, and I got to say this. I want to thank y'all. Your press releases are nice and bold and big, so I can read them real easily. But also, I see on there, they've got about 5 names, and I don't know if you want to personally thank them, but 5 names. And we don't normally get into sponsorships on segments, but let me tell you, when I see the amounts next to these, it's incredible what they've given to the cause.
So generous, yes.
Very, very generous, and we have to thank, and these are partners through the donation and the groups who have helped us collect money and deliver the campers and trailers and get them set up. The Home Terrebonne Chamber of Commerce, the Lafourche Parish Chamber of Commerce, Thibodaux Chamber of Commerce, South Louisiana Economical Council, South Central Industrial Association, Bayou Industrial Group. Additionally, a program that we put together, these partners have helped us make this possible. They reached out to their big hitters when we didn't have a contact with them. So this collectively together was for multiple parishes to come together and help those of us in need.
And real quick, Bayou Community Foundation, $500,000.
Yes, sir.
Chevron, $100,000. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana Foundation, $250,000. Chandemira Foundation, $100,000. BHP, $500,000. That is nothing to sneeze at right there. That's some serious money.
Absolutely. And I was touched at, because I wasn't part of this program when it was going on. And the staff, Tammy especially, told me that they had people that would do their money dance at their wedding, collect all the money and bring it in a cash donation. I mean, how selfless is that? That is incredible. That raises the goosebumps on me to know
cool.
that people care that much.
Well, Cohen and Tammy, thank y'all so much. We look forward to the monthly show.
We do too.
Here on HTV, it's going to be fun. And Tammy in her executive secretary position got a little airtime today, so that's fantastic.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Oh, anytime.
It's good
We
to be
appreciate
here.
it. All right, there you have it. The TEDA representatives doing a great job, and you'll learn more as we go along with their new segment. We come up with a new name. That's all soon. Don't go away.